Alright guys, number 5. So one of the things that you have used over the past few years to determine if something is a function is called the vertical line test. Well, in this question specifically, they want to know, is the inverse a function? So if I want to know is the inverse a function, I actually want to use the horizontal line test, which is similar to the vertical line test, but on a horizontal line, if I hit more than once, that's a fail. Well, here the horizontal line would only hit once, so we would say B has an inverse, that's a function. C would fail, we hit more than once. D would pass, so its inverse is a function. So we say no, yes, no, yes. And again, we're using the horizontal line test. Now I'm also going to complete number 6 in this video. We want to determine the domain and range for all of the graphs that are directly above these questions. So in the first one, graph A, we want to say for the domain, how far left will this graph go and how far right will this graph go. So we always say that the domain is like the x, so x-axis moves left to right. So left, right, left, right. So if you guys notice, these left and right arrows means that it's going to go towards negative infinity and positive infinity. And that's similar in graph C. I have a left arrow and I have an arrow that goes to the right. So that one will also go from negative infinity to positive infinity for left and right. Now B and D, they don't go left and right forever. In B, the farthest left it will reach is right here at -1. So what I would do is I recommend listing this ordered pair. It's at -1, -4. And remember we said that the domain is talking about x. So I want to use this -1. And we want to use a hard bracket because remember if you touch the number you're going to include it. And so that inclusive bracket is a hard bracket. And then this right arrow, it'll go to the right to positive infinity. Infinities always use a soft bracket. Okay, so same idea here. This is as far left as D will go at -3. And its y value is at +5. So we're going to say it'll go as far left as -3. And even though this arrow is pointing down, it's still going to the right. So for the right part, we say positive infinity. Okay, now the range, remember range is always talking about y, and the y-axis goes down and up. So always put down first. We want to go in numerical order, so down would always go first, smaller numbers. Okay, so in graph A, this graph goes down forever. So for down, we want to say negative infinity, but it won't go up forever. So if I list this ordered pair, I'm at -1, -2. But remember, for range, we're saying y. The y is using the -2. And it touches that spot, so we're going to use a hard bracket. Okay, down and up for graph B. Well, it won't go down forever, but remember, we're using the range, so the -4. We're saying from -4, that's as far down as it'll go, and then my arrow points up, so up, positive infinity. The nice thing about graph C is I have a down arrow, and I have an up arrow. So if it goes down and up forever, we just say negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay, again, range for part D, it doesn't go up forever, it only goes down. So down we'll say negative infinity, and the highest up it will reach is that initial point at +5. So down to negative infinity, but the highest it will reach is +5, and again, we're including those values, so we're using our hard bracket.